All right, so what we want to do is we want to write an equation of a parabola with this vertex passing through this point. So far we've talked about two different equations of a parabola. We've got standard form, the ax squared plus bx plus c. This is useful if you want to factor it or use the quadratic formula to find your x-intercepts. That's the easiest way for that. Then we have vertex form, which actually has the vertex in it. So the vertex, we are given the vertex, so we know this is H and K. Then we have a point which we know is X and Y. So comparing the information we have to the two forms of equations that we know, we're definitely going to go with vertex form. Okay, we have the Y, we have the X, we have the H, and we have the K. All we're missing is the A. But if we have all the other variables besides that, we can use our equation skills and solve. Over here, all we would have is the X and the Y. We wouldn't have A, B, or C, which would make it really, really difficult to solve. Actually, impossible with all the information we were given. We'd have to be given a whole lot more information for that. So we're going to go with vertex form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a template here. So basically, I've got a place for the Y, a place for the X, a place for the H, and a place for the K. And how about in a different color, just to remind ourselves, Y equals A parentheses, and then we've got X minus H plus K. So I'm not color coding necessarily, but I did want to point out the four numbers I am plugging in and what is not going to be plugged in. So of course the equal sign stays, the A stays, the parentheses, the minus sign, and the squared. Okay. So N for the Y is going to be 19. N for the X is going to be 2. So we just have to be careful what number we put where. N for the H is going to be 4, and N for the K is going to be a positive 7. All right. So I can solve for A, so I'm going to go step by step here. So parentheses, so 2 minus 4 squared, so 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Then we're going to square negative 2. So negative 2 squared is 4. Now here's where I'm going to do something a little bit different because I'm ignoring the plus 7 so far because addition comes the very last of our order of operations. And I'm actually not going to add 7 to this anyway. I'll show you why. But this is being multiplied. It's A times this. So when I square negative 2 squared is 4. We don't write it as A4. That's just not how we do it. So that 4 is now going to become the coefficient of A because that's being multiplied by A. I just wanted to be very clear at that step right there. And then, of course, the plus 7. Now, of course, I can't add a 7 to an A, so that's why I've been ignoring it this whole time. They're not like terms. So I have a two-step equation where I'm going to solve for A. So minus 7. So 19 minus 7 is 12. Divide by 4. So my A value is 3. Now I did all that work to get that A value because it needs to go in my equation because my final general form of my equation needs to be the general form. So I don't want the numbers for X and Y anymore. I want the A, H, and K. So A is 3, so now 3 in front of the parentheses. Go back to the generic form of X, so X minus H, so X minus 4 squared plus the K. So this will give me the entire parabola with any X or Y, not just this specific one, but we are going to check it. So this is my final answer. So now I'm going to show you how to check your work. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to Desmos. So let's be in Desmos here. So Y equals 3 parentheses X minus 4 squared. plus 7. So this is what I think is the answer, and let's just go over here and find it. So what two pieces of information was I given? I was given I want this to be the vertex, and I want it to go through this point. So if it meets those two conditions, this is the right formula, and it's going to create the right parabola. So let's graph the vertex first. So let's graph 4, 7. So you can see down here, that is the vertex right there. Perfect. So far, so good. And we want it to pass through the point 219. And if I scroll up to 219, it does. It passes through that point. So it meets the two conditions of the problem. It is in vertex form with the correct vertex. So this is the correct final answer.